You ever get that feeling? You've got this brilliant character in your head, a brave hero, a super clever villain. But when you try to get them down on the page, something just gets lost. Well, today, we're going to dive into that magic. We're going to break down the art of character design and show you how to create those compelling, believable characters that are totally, uniquely yours.
I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Character design isn't just about sketching. It's way more than that. It's this act of creation, and it can be really personal. When you're building worlds and telling stories, you're not just making art. You're actually learning a ton about yourself and finding your own creative voice. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so if creating is a superpower, why does starting out sometimes feel like our biggest weakness? We've all been there, right? You're just staring at a blank screen or a fresh sheet of paper. The idea in your head is perfect, it's crystal clear, but you just can't seem to make your hands draw it. Man, it can be so incredibly frustrating.
And that feeling, that creative block, is a core challenge for pretty much every artist out there. It's that huge gap between the perfect vision you have in your mind and the reality you're trying to create on the page. And it's a hurdle that everyone, and I mean everyone, from total beginners to seasoned pros, has to figure out how to jump over.
So, does any of this sound familiar? You've imagined this epic hero, right? But the drawing just lacks that spark. Or one day you make something absolutely amazing and the next day nothing seems to work. It all just leads to this feeling of inconsistency. And at the end of the day, you're just not proud of what you've made. It's a really tough spot to be in.
So how do we break through all that? For the longest time, there's been this myth that great art just comes from raw, natural talent. But you know what? That's not the whole story. The real key, the thing that separates those frustrating, inconsistent results from reliable success, it's something else entirely.
And here it is, a reliable process. That's the secret. A structured, repeatable method is what really unlocks consistent creativity. It's not about sitting around and waiting for inspiration to strike like a lightning bolt. It's about building a framework that lets you create incredible characters again and again and again.
So what does this reliable process actually look like? Well, we can break it down into 4 clear, totally manageable steps. Don't think of it as some magic formula, but more like a roadmap that's going to guide you from that scary blank page to a fully realized character you can be really proud of.
First up, ideation and creating a brief. This is where you really define who your character is. Next, you've got exploration and sketching, which is the fun part, where you can get loose and just try out a bunch of different ideas. Then comes refinement, where you zero in on the best design and add all those important details. And finally, the polish and presentation, where you bring it all together into one stunning final piece.
So this process is your roadmap. It's your recipe for success. But, every great recipe needs quality ingredients. And for us in character design, those ingredients are your foundational art skills. So let's take a look at the tools you're going to need for this journey.
To really, truly bring your characters to life, you need a well-stocked artist's toolkit. These are the core skills, the absolute fundamentals of illustration that allow you to pull any idea from your imagination and slap it onto the page with total confidence. And this toolkit, it's about so much more than just drawing a pretty face. It's about understanding construction, so you can give your character real form, mastering expression to give them emotion, using different body types and ages to give them a backstory. It's about showing their personality visually, knowing how they fit into different genres, and a huge part of this is understanding character archetypes.
Character archetypes like the hero, the mentor, or the trickster, these are seriously powerful shortcuts. They're these universally understood patterns that give you an instant foundation for a character that your audience can immediately connect with. And using an archetype doesn't mean your character is a cliché, not at all. It just means you're starting from a place of shared human experience, which is a great place to start.
Okay, so we have a reliable process, and we have a toolkit full of fundamental skills. Now it's time to put it all together. This is where all the theory becomes practice, and you can finally unleash all those amazing characters that have been waiting around inside your head.
Just think about it for a second. Is there an old original character, an OC, that you used to love, but now, when you look at them, you're a little disappointed? A character you really struggled with or felt you never quite did justice to? Hey, we all have them, but they are not failures.
See, every single character you create, whether it's a success or not, is a part of your journey. Those old designs aren't failures, they're stepping stones. And now, with a reliable process and a much stronger toolkit, you have the power to go back to those ideas and discover their real potential.
So that blank page, it's not an obstacle anymore, it's an invitation. Your next great character is waiting for you to bring them to life. So the only question left is, who will they be?